What's good with you guys? It's Jibril.
I want to be richer than Jay-Z, my brother, I'm hoping that I would be rich. I isn't so tired of living the way that I live. If I make it, I buy my own crib. They tell me I'm quiet like Gary, I do like a carrot on Sunday, I'm clapping his cheeks. Then my song will repeat, I'll be running the streets in a year that is by my beast. And I'll be like, all of these people keep hating on me, I'm like, Chris, everybody hates me. Well, I'll be like, fuck everybody, I never had anyone willing to help but a G. And now I've got
And I'm going to explain why black people are the most disrespected race group. Black people are the most disrespected race group to date, as we are constantly looked down upon and having our boundaries breached. We often go the extra mile to impress other people outside of our race, by either making a mockery of ourselves or talking down on our own people. We lack any sort of unity within the black community, with black people often having to stand up for themselves and end up being ignored whenever they call out certain issues. We barely stand up for our own people when it's necessary, due to black people lacking enough courage to stand up and stand out for their own people. And throughout history up until now, we have been utilized as pawns and entertainment for other races of people, without gaining or demanding much in return. We are literally considered to be last place amongst every other race group by everybody. So when a black person is in a group with other people of different ethnicities, every non-black person within the group believes that the black person deserves the most disdain. We will even allow other ethnic groups to disrespect our people, due to black people not having enough respect, loyalty, or compassion for our own people. Due to black people not giving ourselves a valid reason to respect our race. We often tend to backstab one another, degrade each other, and will sabotage black people's livelihoods, which has ultimately made the black community a self-destructive and treacherous community. So if we can't be positive with one another and respect each other, how can we expect other people to respect us? We even have black people that are willing to fight for other ethnic groups than fight for black people. We are content being last place, so long as our situation doesn't get worse on an individual perspective, considering that we have now become individualistic. We also believe it's futile attempting to save the black community, as black people surmise that it can never be saved. As to why we have black people that believe that the black community deserves to be disrespected, and have black people not put up a fight to stop the black community from being exploited and disrespected. We also aren't providing any opportunities for black people to make a living, and instead of investing our time and attention on improving our community, we are constantly seeking a reason to take our anger out on our own people, but will never call out other ethnic groups for committing a wrongdoing, as we are afraid of the possibility of being severely penalized by the specific race group. So how can black people gain more respect from other people, including ourselves? Well, for one, black people have to begin respecting ourselves. We have to acknowledge that we are one family, and it's against our nature to disrespect our own people. We often forget or don't realize who played an immense role on the issues black people have to face today across the globe. We also have to become more unified and stand up for one another. Black people are not unified, so when a black person is going against the whole race group, they will often be ganged up on and will inevitably lose. You cannot win every battle on your own. So if we ever witness an injustice being committed to our own people, we have to stand by them and let everybody know that we are disallowing any sort of unnecessary disrespect towards ourselves and the black community. We must prepare to defend our own people at all times. The reason why people get away with disrespecting black people is due to them not facing any sort of consequences from black people that will have them stop disrespecting us. And behavior never stagnates. The behavior either gets better or worse, depending on how severe the consequences are, if there are any at all. And it's impossible to implement penalties for other groups by yourself. Every other race group prioritizes their own and is willing to fight against anybody that disrespects their race, except black people. Black people are traditionally about collectivism, pride, and honesty, but we are losing our traditional belief systems as we assimilate a narcissistic and individualistic culture and mindset that we have attained from other people's culture. I'm personally sick and tired of black people being last place. And as the first people on earth to give birth to the whole of humanity, we should never be disrespected, nor should we allow such disrespect to come our way. Other ethnic groups hardly put in any sort of effort to make us feel comfortable when around them. So why do we? And that's because we don't provide anything better. We will never gain any sort of respect if we comply to our adversaries and become nothing but pushovers and people's pleasers to other people. We have been blessed to be the genetically strongest race group, so relinquish endeavoring to emulate people that are secretly envious of how naturally gifted we are. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, peace, and take care of yourselves. I'm out.